Right, there you go. We're recording. Everyone's live now. So we're joined by Carly Thumper Skelly, following her fight with Amy Timlin. We did interview Carly a few weeks back on the radio, and we thought it'd be good to get you back and have a catch up, and obviously talk about the fight and how you found the whole experience, and we know you're stuck at home today. You've just told us before we started recording, so it's a great time to catch you. And we just thought it'd be good to catch up and see what's been happening. So thanks for coming back on. That's really kind of you to
Thanks for having me back on as well. It's a pleasure.
Taking the time out to join us again. Arv can't see anything; he can only hear, but that's a bonus.
I've got it all sorted now. I can hear and I can see everybody.
Oh no, really? Bloody hell! Arv, welcome to the 21st century, mate.
Absolutely brilliant.
Shocker.
Can see everybody and can hear everyone nice and clearly. I can see you, Kylie. I can see Lakey. I can see you, Steve. I can see everyone, and I can hear you all as well.
Sounds like the Waltons, that does, mate. But yeah, the other thing we've noticed with Arv, he's had his hair cut recently, and I think you look like Ian Wright, mate.
Kylie, did you see me before, or nothing at all?
What was that? Sorry.
Have you seen me before, or any footage of me when I used to box? I had long dreadlocks, so it seemed funny to a lot of people to say to me, "You look so strange like that. We used to see you with dreads. We can't get used to you." People say to me, "I've always had dreads. If you ever get a chance, look on YouTube."
I'll have to have a little look at you.
Have a little look.
He does. It's like Bob Marley. You come from Bob Marley to Ian Wright, mate.
I'll have a look straight
Marley, we keep asking Arv to grow his dreads back.
We do.
And you know what? My hair grows so quickly. But you know what? I had dread for like about 37 years. I'm just had enough of it. I just wanted to change.
But they like to look after the dreads, mate, because you can't wash it. Is that right? You can't wash them.
No,
this is totally random now, but it's talking about Arv's haircut.
I did
but
wash
you can't
them.
wash them or nothing.
No, you can. You can. Get them tweaked. My sister's an hairdresser, so she used to twist my hair. And you just wash it as normal, and it grows that way. So, but I've had enough of them anyway. I'll keep it like this now.
Just wash it, can't you? Now it's easier. Get up in the morning, nothing to do. Perfect. So, Carly, sorry, we digress. We're talking about Arv's hair now, but
or no hair,
or lack of hair. Yeah, old shiner. But you can polish that Arv, actually, mate. That's right, isn't it? But yeah, what we'd like to talk to you about is obviously you've had your fight with Amy now, Amy Timlin. And we just thought it'd be good to catch up because obviously you spent some time in the bubble, fight camp bubble. We just thought it'd be good to have a chat with you about the whole experience, about the fight camp, and the fight itself, and maybe what's going on now the fight's over, what the future may hold. So how was the camp? I mean, we saw footage on YouTube of you having your COVID tests and we saw all of that stuff going on with the tests shoved up people's noses and stuff. But how was it in the hotel? I mean, how did you find that experience?
So it was all right. It was a little bit strange because obviously as soon as we literally pulled up outside the hotel, they were there ready to do the tests, and you were literally escorted to your room quite quickly, and that was it. We were locked in. Then we weren't allowed to leave the room. I think 12:30 we got there on the Tuesday, and then we weren't allowed out till about 10:30 the next day.
Wow.
So for me, it was lovely because obviously I've got two boys. Getting a few days away, it was gorgeous. I could focus on the fight and not worrying about two boys. Like, Mum, I need food. Mum, I need this. So for me, it was perfect. I got time to really tune into my fight, which is sometimes I never get that option. So it was perfect.
And a couple of afternoon naps, I assume.
Yeah, I think I was asleep by 8 o'clock most nights.
Oh, that's
this bubble thing. How many of you consist in this bubble, sort of thing? How many of you are together within the bubble, if you know what I mean? How many of you together? Is it you and your trainer? How many of you
me and my trainer in my team, but it was the bubble was kind of everyone through match room, so everybody had the 2 floors that we were staying on, plus another floor where we had the restaurant and the gym and things like that. But it was literally everybody that had been tested to security, match room staff, all the boxers and the boxers teams, and that was it. We weren't allowed to leave, and no one was allowed to come in until they'd been cleared through the tests and stuff. So there was a good few of us around in the group, so it was okay.
Was you having to have tests every day then, or was it just the one test as you went in and that was it?
Just the one as you went in.
Right, okay.
Yeah. One's enough, I should think. That thing shoved up.
Yeah,
There.
the wait for it felt really long because the next day, so we got there Tuesday and Wednesday morning, I had a gym time slot for 9, but I hadn't been cleared or nothing, so I didn't get into the gym in the morning. And then I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, you know, we've been training for 5 months for this. Imagine this just all comes back and we can't. And when the security knocked, they literally swapped your wristbands, give you a black wristband and took your orange one off. As soon as they knocked him, was like, you're all clear. It was like, oh my God, thank God.
Oh God, massive relief just to know you're all right.
I'm thinking, am I going to fight? Am I not going to fight?
So, Carly, you know, when you're in this bubble, like, have you still all sort of got to stay sort of 2 meters away, or can you just sort of, you know, what's it like? Do you have to sort of say 2 meters away, or can you like be close to one another while you're in this sort of situation of this bubble thing? How does it work? It's very strange. Like, are you allowed to stay by one another, or do you have to stand?
Yeah, everybody was kind of like together, but you did have to wear your masks, even though you've been tested and cleared. We still had the masks the whole time. Obviously, when I was in the gym with my coach, we could take them off while we were training, but all through most of it, it was masks. So, yeah.
Was you allowed to interact with each other, or was it like in the gym, for example, you went up, did your bit, and then left, and then someone else went in?
Yeah, there was time slots, so everybody had a time slot, and then they had a time then to get in and clean everything, because everything had to be cleaned after every gym session. So, and it was done really well. It was organised really well, to be fair.
But it was really hard though. But it was really hard. But it's very hard, you know, when you're used to just fighting as normal and not having to go through all that. So, but you know, it's awkward, you know, having to clean everything and.
I don't suppose you had to do the cleaning though. Eddie Hearn's probably got people in there doing that, hasn't he? All the cleaning and all the rest of it. Did he have?
I actually felt looked at because usually I'm the cleaner. I'm usually looking after everybody at home. I felt like I was spoiled.
You know, like your gloves as well. I believe that once you finish with your gloves, they just throw them away, don't they? They don't make anyone else wear them again. Is that the rule?
But I don't know. Somebody told me that beforehand. So my coach did ask that question when we got the gloves taken off.
I thought
no, they don't go, but I don't know.
I saw it done on BT Sports. Steve once was showing what happens to everything, and once your gloves are taken off, they put them in the yellow bin and dispose of them.
So they should just let us keep them then, shouldn't they? Really?
May as well.
May as well.
I never thought of that, but yeah, and they're not cheap gloves, are they? They're good, expensive gloves, so they should do that. That's right. Yeah.
Thing is, though, if you've all tested negative for it, then why couldn't you keep the gloves? You know, but hey, it's a pair of gloves. They can afford it. If they can afford to throw them away and buy, get new ones every time, good on them.
I was thinking that.
So did you bump into? Did you see like Usyk and all those people then when you were around and about? Did you see any of these people, or did you all just get kept completely separate in the hotel and stuff, or were you mingling?
No, everyone was mingling because everyone was on the 3rd floor for the restaurant. So you tend to at meal times bump into quite a few. So yeah, I managed to meet Usyk.
Brilliant.
I got a nice little photo with him, and I don't realise how small I am because I managed to see Tony Bellew, Eddie Hearn, David Hay, Usyk, and I'm literally, I think I ended up with a sore neck not from my fight. It was more looking up at all these giants. I was like, these are big men.
Are they all very nice? Were they all cool? All good guys?
Yeah, everyone was lovely.
Carly, was you tempted to go up to Usyk and say Derek?
Oh, of course he does all that, doesn't he? Derek.
Was you not tempted to do that to Amy and go up to Amy and go, Amy?
You look really creepy because you're doing that into the camera really close, mate.
I'll sit back. So
did you see her while you were going around the hotel as well? Because that must have been awkward if you bumped into her.
So the first day we were there, we got told we couldn't go out for our food because obviously we were in isolation. And then they were bringing food up. They'd knock on the door and leave the food outside the room. Yeah. So a little knock, I opened the door and somebody opposite me, I looked up, it was Amy's coach. And I kind of seen somebody at the corner of my eye and it was Amy. So yeah, I had the pleasure of being next door to Amy and opposite a coach.
No way. Wow, that's really uncomfortable. That's awkward. That must be awkward. You know what I mean? But so the fight camp was good then. The bubble, the whole experience in there obviously sounded like it. Like you say, you had a break away from the kids, and So was your other half at home looking after the kids? How were they throughout the whole sort of Were they missing you? I suppose they must have been if they're used to having you around.
Yeah, they definitely miss me because my other half, Paul, is not the best cook.
Oh, that's not me.
Yeah, and he's definitely not like a house husband. So yeah, it was a little bit chaotic for them. They were loving not getting moaned at, and everything was quite laid back. I think they had a few more chippies than normal, so they enjoyed that side of things, but they definitely missed the structure, I think.
Carly, did they see you fight? Did your boys watch you fight? Did you allow them to do that?
Yeah, they all went. A big group of my family and friends all went somewhere and watched it together.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, brilliant that is. Yeah, I bet they were well proud.
Yeah, I think they got emotional, especially my little one who's 80. He got very emotional, Paul said.
Bless him. Yeah, I bet it's tough for him to watch. So, moving on to the fight itself. Obviously, how was it? How was that experience? I mean, obviously that was obviously you were, originally I don't think you were going to be live on Sky. It was going to be just Facebook, and then it moved.
Yeah, it was meant to be at 5 originally. Yeah, and then obviously somebody else fight it fell through. I think again it was just something to do with this COVID and things, and it pushed us up to 6 o'clock. Which obviously it's unfortunate for the other person. It's just a bit rubbish for them, but for me it worked out quite well that a lot of people got to watch it then. And yeah, the whole experience, walking out onto such a big platform was like just felt really like proud. Like I thought, all the hard work for the past couple of years is starting to pay off. And then during the fight, I've sparred a couple of times, 10 rounds, so I knew in my head that the 10 rounds was going to be okay, but obviously you don't know whether it's going to be slightly different on the night. But yeah, I felt I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time while I was in there, and I enjoyed the fight, and I knew in there I was winning. And when the fight was finished, I knew I'd won. I knew I'd done enough, but unfortunately they scored it as a draw. But I don't try and get too down in the dumps about things. I just try and look at the positive and think, well, you know what, hopefully Eddie did say afterwards, Eddie Hearn said afterwards that they'll get us on for a rematch. So I just tried to thought, but you know what, hopefully we'll get on another big show and show even more people that didn't get the chance to tune in what I'm about. And yeah, I'll get that belt next time.
Yeah, I mean,
did you find it strange with no fans, no noise?
Oh, I bet that was weird. Hey? Oh.
You know what? I didn't, because I was that in the moment. I didn't really think about what was going on outside the ring, to be honest.
Yeah.
Could you hear Amy's corner talking and stuff?
Yeah, I'd say that probably during the fight you could hear everything. So I could hear, like, obviously if my coach and her coach are shouting in things, you could hear it very clear because there wasn't any noise around to like drown anything out. But yeah, you probably could have heard a pin drop at times. It was that silent.
Was there anything contentious that was shouted by her corner that kind of drove you on a little bit more?
He quite often was saying, "Come on, Amy, she's tired," and I
heard that.
Chilled and relaxed. I was thinking, I've got a lot more in me, but if that's what you want to think, I had a lot more to go.
When you're fighting with crowds and stuff, can you? I'm guessing you can't hear your corners at all then, or it's very difficult to.
It's funny, every time like I've had a fight, there's only certain people that I can ever really, their voices are just there in my mind. I can always hear them, so I can always hear my coach, and my partner obviously weren't there, Paul. If he'd have been there, I can always hear his voice, and it's always them two voices that I can hear.
Right.
So I did manage to there when Sid was shouting. I could hear what he was saying, the instructions he was giving, and I was trying to listen to what he was saying and bring that into it.
And Carly, was you aware that she was as tall as she was? Because I would.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware how. I was surprised that when I saw you next to each other at the weigh-in. Yeah. At the weigh-in, the day, the previous day, I was watching that on YouTube, and I was shocked actually. I thought, my God, she's actually really quite tall.
Yeah, I did know she was a lot taller than me. To be fair, most fights I've had, there is always a good size difference. So yeah, it was something we were prepared for, the height difference.
How tall are you?
5'1".
And you know what?
A bit taller than you, Steve.
Carly, I'd love to meet you so you can make me feel better.
Right, how tall are you?
5'6.5".
So,
is that all?
so if you want to be really correct, I'm 5'1" and 3/4.
Well, don't forget the extra bit.
Yeah.
You know what, Kylie? I didn't know.
Important.
I didn't know you was a lefty either. Makes things more awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, she scored at us guys when we were on the WhatsApp group, and obviously the WhatsApp, you know, we've got the big WhatsApp group, and everybody was doing, you know, their round by round kind of score of the fighters. It was, and all of us guys had you 2 rounds up. Some had 3 rounds up. You know, so we were all quite shocked by the draw, I think. So we were kind of convinced that you'd done it, you'd done enough to win, you know.
Yeah.
So we were really peeved off. You know, it was a bit like, hold on a minute, you know, because you were a lot more aggressive in the fight as well. You were a lot more come forward, and it just, for me watching it, I just felt that you'd done enough to win. I think I felt the same. Richie felt the same.
Yeah.
I know John.
When you were coming forward, Carly, you were connecting with lots of punches, and for me, they were scoring punches. So I couldn't really understand how. I mean, I know it's subjective, and I know different people see different things in different ways. But if you're connecting with those number of punches, then surely, you know, it's quite an easy decision to make. And I mean, I was taken aback. I mean, I think it's something that us boys at Sportinarium we're very conscious over the scoring and the results that seem to be appearing. So I'm not convinced that result definitely wasn't right for us, or for me anyway, certainly.
And I know we were sort of saying maybe we felt a little bit biased because we spoke to you recently. Obviously, we've got the big boxing group, you know, but we you know, I was watching it from a very unbiased viewpoint. I thought they just watch it as 2 fighters in the ring and score it as it should be scored, you know. And I mean, definitely. And I know John P in the group, all of us, you know, it was all like, no, there's no bias involved. You won that, you know, for us by 2 rounds quite clearly, at least 3. So hopefully you'll get that rematch. I mean, you know, go on, Alf. Sorry, mate.
I just wanted to say, Kylie, fantastic tactics when you fight someone tall as well. Tactics was fantastic. I just wanted to say that.
It was a great fight. It was a great fight. Brilliant. Really entertaining to watch. Do you think they'd be better with 12 rounds? Because obviously these 10 rounds, championship fights, you know?
I think if we'd have had 12 rounds, I think I would have possibly got my first stoppage. I think the last 2 rounds, she was struggling in there. I could see, obviously, you know, you can see what you can see. I'm in there face, and I could see the look of defeat in her eyes. So, another 2 rounds, and I think it wouldn't have gone the distance.
See, this is what the frustration is, I think, in women's boxing at the minute. It's that 10 rounds, it's 2 minutes as well. It's like, come on, a couple of rounds on it would help, you know?
That's another thing, as well as making it 12 rounds. How about making it 12 threes? You'd have more time. You know.
Carly, do you ever fight 3-minute rounds, or was it always 2-minute rounds?
I did as an amateur at Spar. I spar 3 minutes earlier on in my training camps. When closest to the fight, we'll probably just shorten it down so that you know how much you've actually got in you then, so that you can go full blast for the two rounds. But I do mix it up and do both. So I'm used to 3s and 2s.
I mean, Carly, in all fairness, you ladies are better than the blokes.
No, I do. More entertaining at the minute, I've got to be honest. I find the girls fighting a lot more entertaining than the blokes fighting.
If you were fighting 3s and not 2s, you'd have no problem. You'd have no problem if you were doing 3s and not 2s. It'd suit you. You'd have no problem. I know that. You know, I just know that. Yeah,
and your style would probably suit that as well, wouldn't it?
Yes.
You know, and because it's come forward very aggressive. You know, I think, and I agree with you. I think at the end of the fight as well, she didn't look like somebody that had won. She didn't have a look of, you know, Amy. She didn't look like, oh yeah, I've got this in the bag, kind of. But you know, you look like someone that had won the fight, whereas she just looked a little bit like, you know, I'll have to come again, kind of thing. So yeah, it was, you know, putting it bluntly, I think we're all a bit pissed off. It was a bit like, you know, we felt like you've not. You know, you were robbed of, because that was the inaugural as well, wasn't it, for that title? You know, it had never been contested before, at the Commonwealth Super Bantam. So it just would have been nice to have had a belt around your waist, you know?
Well, it ain't just that. It's like a main belt, and it's a well-recognised belt, the Commonwealth title. You know what I mean? That would have been an awesome belt to win, you know, because it's a genuine belt, a belt what's always been there. So that would have been nice for you to win that. It's such a shame, but
Carly, did you at the end? Did you feel an element of respect from Amy towards you, or?
Yeah, I found Amy to be very respectful. In all fairness, I think she knew that she'd lost the fight. I think it was quite obvious in her interview. She'd looked quite deflated and stuff, and she maybe weren't happy with herself, but I think she showed respect. I think there was an interview done afterwards. Is it IPTV?
Coogan or something.
Yeah, on that she was really respectful. Maybe a coach wasn't as respectful. I seen the interview that he done.
I haven't seen that. Is it a bad one? Then I haven't even looked.
So he's effing and blading on how the decision was disgraceful and what have you. But
I saw it.
Yeah,
you saw it, did you, Rob?
I saw it. I listened to it. I didn't like it. I don't agree.
From it. Yeah, I didn't take nothing personally from it. I think he embarrassed himself, and do you know what? His vision was clouded. It is his boxer. His emotions got the better of him, so it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, emotions are riding high, and you're always going to have that element of bias towards someone. But I don't know, a good coach, in my opinion, it can say, look, do you know what? Yeah, it wasn't my fault.
Wasn't expecting that. Or wasn't expecting that. You know, I mean, you got to have some sort of, you know, like you said.
The way my coach handled it, he just left me to do the interviews. He took a step back and said, it's your moment, and he felt he knew Jordan if that had won it, and afterwards he's done it. But you know what? He said, like, what an experience. It weren't meant to be on this show. It was meant to be somewhere in Manchester, and now it's been put on Facebook Live, and then now it's been put on even on actual Sky. So, you know, everyone's got to see you. So let's not let this knock us, and we'll go and do it again. And he handled it really well, considering we were the ones who should have been walking home with the belt that day. So Sid handled it really well and kept me spirits going.
Considering what you've been trying to achieve and stuff, that kind of slight delay to get you on Sky, you thoroughly deserve that, and that will put you in good stead for definite, in my opinion.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean definitely. I mean, the exposure you've had, and like I say, I'm sure most people that watch the fight will be of the opinion you won. So getting that exposure, getting the fact that you did win really. So are they looking at a rematch for you soon? Are you hoping that's going to be in the works? Because I'm sure Amy probably wants the rematch, I would imagine. I'm sure she's probably not happy with the draw either. So
yeah, I think she seems like she wants it just as much. I don't think she was happy. She didn't seem like she was happy with herself, her own performance, and going how I'd feel. I'd want it just as much as she'll want it. So I just afterwards Eddie Hearn did come over and say we'll get you a rematch. It was a cracking fight, so I just hope he sticks with it. I did thank him and Dave Caldwell a couple of days afterwards and said thanks, because it was a great opportunity and I was made up to be on there. And Dave Caldwell did say that it was a great fight and we hopefully will get you back on. So that was a couple of days after the fight. I've not heard nothing yet, so hopefully me coach and manager will liaise with them and hopefully find a date.
Assuming the belt will still be available for that fight.
Yeah.
The belt would still be vacant, wouldn't it? So, I mean, obviously, the other side of the coin is because Ebony Bridges and Rachel Ball were supposed to be fighting on the 14th of November. And I know, obviously, that one's been cancelled now because Ebony's been injured. I mean, that's down at Bantam.
Rescheduled somebody else on for it now.
Yeah, no, they've rescheduled somebody else for it. But I mean, I'm thinking it opens up because I think like Bridges is around your weight, isn't she? Bantamweight, super bantamweight. So it's opening up. The division's really opening up, isn't it? So when she comes back, Shannon Courtney, I suppose they're all kind of up and around your weight. So now you're in that mix now, aren't you?
Well, that's it. Naturally, I'm a bantamweight. I've come off as super bantam, but bantamweight, even super flyweight, more my weight. I've come up for this to obviously get the opportunity, but I'm happy to go up and down weight to get the fight. And there is a lot of fighters out there, especially domestic fights. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Is there an opportunity to get on maybe the AJ card, or is that too soon?
When is that the one in December or January?
December. Yeah.
For me, if they rang me now, I'd be like, yeah, I'm on my way. So I haven't got a clue how it works. I don't know whether they've already got all theirs lines up. I've just got it in the back of my head that obviously the one that happened that was meant to be 6 o'clock for us on Saturday fell through quite last minute. So you kind of don't know whether you just, with everything going on, we suppose we'll get like a last minute call to say, can you get onto this show? I know Ramla Ali boxed after me. I don't think she was on the bill up until quite late on as well. So I suppose.
Is that the girl that was making her debut? The girl from, is that the Somalian girl that was making the debut, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she seemed to. What weight is she? I didn't see what weight she was actually. Is she around the super bantams as well, or is she bigger?
She's above. The
She's
one
above,
above
is she?
would be featherweight, is it?
Featherweight.
Right. Yeah.
Featherweight. Nine
Yeah.
stone. 9 stone.
You look good.
I think that's what she is, because you said, yeah, she's tall.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, I mean, so you would be if Eddie Hearn gave you a call today, then, or one of your coach, manager, whoever, and said we can get you on the AJ bill for a rematch, you'd be up for. You'd go, yeah, I'll take it. You wouldn't have any qualms.
No,
Wow.
100%.
I think that's at the beginning of December. That's not even
Unfinished business there. I need that belt.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
and you know what as well, Carly, the belt, what you get to keep it. That's the fantastic thing.
Yeah.
All them belts, you get to keep it. I think the only belt you don't get to keep is the Lord Lonsdale belt, if they start to let ladies fight for that one. If they start to let you lot fight for the Lord Lonsdale belt, you have to.
The British belt, yeah, the British title. They should let you all fight. There's plenty of girls around now to contest these titles.
And
That's another one.
There's plenty now in the country, isn't it? So it's a shame that that's not there.
Yeah, it should be there. It should be there. Should all have equal rights to fight for the titles.
If they're doing Commonwealth and European, which looks exactly the same as the men's one, then I don't see why you can't fight for the British, and the same rules apply. You know, where you win it once and defend it 3 times, and you get to keep it. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, so hopefully you'll get that rematch, then that would be good. And do you feel this time, if you faced her again, you know, you feel obviously, I can see by your face, you're obviously going to feel a lot more confident about, because you've been in there with her now. You know what she's got to offer you. So would you approach it a bit differently? I know you don't want to give tactics away because a rematch might come back up, but would you feel more confident second time around?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd
probably. To be fair, I felt confident enough going in this. I think there was maybe rounds I didn't slow it down. I just didn't go as fast as I could, and I think again just conserving energy first 10 rounds, not wanting to blow up early on, but. I have got an engine to keep going for 10 rounds. I've done it in sparring plenty of times. I just didn't want to blow up on a big flat platform. So keep the pressure on like I did from the 6th to the 10th rounds earlier on and bring it home next time. Bring it home. I think you're definitely. And how did you find her style? It was no problem for you? Did she punch hard? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you were in there with her. Was she better than you expected her to be, or not so? She's probably what I thought she would have been. To be honest, I thought she'd have come forwards more. She said that she likes a good tear up. I didn't feel like she did. Maybe once we engaged, we'd have a few little punches and flurries and stuff, but I felt like it was always me wanting to start and always wanting to go forward, and I was expecting her to come at me a little bit more. Whether that was her plan and she'd felt the power in the punches and it maybe just made her think about it, then I'm not too sure. But
Kylie, you know what I thought that when you're tall and you're punching down, it's very, very hard to find and to target what's low down. It's very hard, and maybe that was the problem. Yeah. From not doing. Yeah, because maybe obviously you worry about being in with somebody tall because you think they've got that reach, that range, that advantage. But rather than looking at their advantages, you can, like you've just said yourself, use yours. Your height is your advantage, so make yourself even smaller and harder to hit. So although she's the range, I could then take myself even smaller and make it more impossible for her to use range. That's right. So maybe things didn't work out to plan as she wanted things to work due to having to hit down. And when you got to hit down, it's very hard. Yeah. Tiring, I should think, as well. It takes a lot out of it, doesn't it? Punching down, I would imagine. You know, tiring, but probably, you know, the flip side, it's probably bloody tiring punching upwards as well, isn't it? I mean, you have to constantly, you know, punch up. Shoulders. Yeah, exactly. Neck ache, shoulder ache. In the gym, the speedball, it's nice and tall, and every time I'm like, should I go on the smaller one? It's like, you're never going to be fighting anyone your height, or they're going to be taller. Get on the taller one. Exactly right. So, look. I think, you know, thanks for coming. I think that's kind of about all we've got time for. But thanks again for coming on and joining us. It's been great to get your insights into how that fight went. I don't know if the boys have got any other questions before we go. Anyone?
I was going to say, you know, I know fighters don't like to talk about what's after the fight potentially coming up on them, but you know, what does 2021 look like for you, Carly? You know, what are you thinking that you want to do? Do you want to change weight divisions, or do you want to go down a different route? What are you thinking?
So once hopefully we get this rematch done, I feel like I'd really want to get this done so that we can get the decider on this one, and then from there, yeah, I probably would like to go back to bantam. It's, you know, I am smaller. For me to actually put weight on has been harder. I weighed in a little bit lighter, even still trying to put the weight on, but yeah, go down to bantam. And I know there's a lot going on at bantam. You've got Ebony Bridges, and well, that fell through, but Rachel Ball fighting for world titles, and they're all who I've got in my mindset now is Rachel Ball and Ebony Bridges, and get them fights done.
Nice.
And would you be confident you beat those girls? You feel ready? You know, you feel like you're at that level already now that you'd feel confident going in with like the Bridges and the Balls, and you know, you'd feel quite happy with that.
Yeah, I never underestimate anyone, and I know there's a lot of great girls out there, but I do always feel like I'm more than capable of anything. I'll literally never back away from it, a challenge, and I've got that heart and that will. So for me, I personally feel like I'd be hard to be beaten.
I'm going to say, Carly, you know what? This fight, when will it be back on? This rematch?
I'm not sure.
Any idea? And if there was a chance of like any kind of warm-up fights, meanwhile waiting, will you take it, or are you going to wait for this Commonwealth rematch title?
It depends on how long it depends on how long it takes for the rematch to be organised. If it's going to be like within the next month, 2 months, it makes sense to wait for that.
Yeah.
But it's something I'd speak to. If anything came up in the meantime, it's something I'd speak to my coach about, and hopefully we'll get an idea of dates and stuff, and then we'd be able to plan more then.
Brilliant stuff.
How regular are you planning on fighting?
Mate, I'd definitely like to be fighting more than I have been. I think since turning over, I only had 2 last year and 2 this year. So I would like to be getting out more than that. But I just know the situation that we're in, it's quite hard. But at the minute, there's so many females coming. There's like a lot, and especially at my weight. So ideally, there's the fighter there to be made to keep me out as often as possible.
It's so hard with this COVID on, isn't it? Because I mean, there's no small hall shows. It's just these big shows, and
that's the thing, isn't it? It's all the small hall shows.
But I think for you now, though, you need to be on big platforms. Now you've done the whole Skybox surface, fought for the Commonwealth title. I mean, for you now, it should be upwards now. You don't, you know, that should be your stage now.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, 100%. Like to think now that we
totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be what it'll be. We'll get on to another big show and do this Commonwealth one again, and then hopefully from there more opportunities.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be the case, Carly. That was a great performance, by the way. So yeah,
put you on the map for sure. And I'd love to see you take Ebony Bridges. I think both of you take each other on, because I think that because you both come forward, I think that would be a hell of a fight to watch. I'd love to watch that.
And that's it. I'd love to fight somebody who actually comes forward. That, you know, that's I get in there for. I do love a tear up. I do love a fight. So
yeah,
when somebody promises you it, and then they go on the back foot, I'm like, come on, let's have a fight.
Carly, I've got to say, it always impresses me when we get someone through our show. I mean, we've only been going 10 weeks now, but when we engage with someone like yourself who's really humble and down to earth, and
definitely,
it's like, you know, like we're other people. You can't underestimate how much that impresses us. So, you know, big respect and credit for that.
Oh, thank you very much.
And Carly, I was going to say, you know, I know you come forward, but people don't. Your defense is fantastic. I know you say I come forward, you come forward. Yeah, you do come forward, but it's not like you're not defending yourself. You defend yourself very well. I look at you. You keep yourself very tight. Even though you come forward, you're still defending yourself when you're coming forward. I just want to say that. I was very impressed with your performance, the way you keep yourself very tight and you don't get hit very much because you keep yourself very tight.
It's quite often we'll work on the gym. I'll work on my back foot and be in a different style boxing, and I can do it. I just as soon as that bell goes, I'm like, let's go.
And you're very, very awkward because you're a southpaw, so it makes it hard for people being a southpaw, because your lead hand is your right hand and your right arm, and it's right in front of you, so that makes things hard for the opponent not being a southpaw also.
Yeah.
And before we go, I mean, I noticed you did it after your interview on Sky Sports. So have you got any sponsors you want to give a shout out to? Because obviously we can go out on YouTube. So
I've actually got a list.
Go for it. Use it. Grab your list.
I want to say a big thank you to all my sponsors, and I've got Auto Care Repair, I've got Cryo Clinic, Universal Staffing Solutions, Liverpool Canine Fertility, Sports Involved, SLJ Civils Limited, Williamson's Family Butchers, Parnell Sports Bar, and My Body Therapy. If I can just say a big thank you to all of you who have made my journey a lot easier, being able to take time out from work and so that I can focus on this fight, and hopefully it'll keep coming. And if anybody doesn't already follow them, give them a follow.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
And we'll make sure that we try and get those into the link. We'll try and get Richie to put the link on. So I'll try and get those names off you actually, because and then we'll try and get them into the link for the video. I'm sure Richie will be able to work it out somehow, you know, with the editing and stuff. So thank you very much, though, Carly. And you know, I'm sure that I've got no doubt we'll see you again on Sky very soon, and I think that title will be yours next time around, clearly, and it'll be onwards and upwards. And hopefully, you know, the matchmakers might watch this and hear your call outs to the other fighters as well. So you never know, you know. Yeah. I think the Rachel Ball and Ebony Bridges fight came around as a result of an interview both of them did with us. So you never know.
Yeah. Oh, good to get out there then.
Yeah, we'll keep posting it out there. But thank you.
I just want to say, at any stage you need any support from us as a show, anything you want to get out there, any messages, or you just want to come on and talk about certain fight cards or anything like that, you're always welcome. Just let us know.
One of the family. So come on, whenever you like.
Fantastic, Kylie. You're a star. Awesome. Absolutely brilliant.
Amazing. And a big thank you to all you at Sporting Area as well, because literally since the interview, the first interview you've done, you've like literally shared a lot of my stuff and helped a lot. So I'm very, very grateful for all the support.
Yeah,
thank you.
We'll
keep it. We're 100% behind. Well, you know we are. So, and that is we are a bit biased in that respect for sure. But yeah, so we'll always be behind you, supporting you. So whenever it's happening, you know we're going to be sharing it far and wide. So that's nice. And John P will definitely. We got to get you and John P on the show together.
We need to do a show with him on.
Definitely.
We'll sort that out. We'll get John P on for a video. So that'd be cool. So shout out to John P. But yeah, that's cool. All right, guys, we'll catch up soon. Thanks very much and good luck. And I hope your son gets back to school soon as well. So you know, so you can get back in the gym. Yeah, no worries.
Brilliant.
Bye,
Take care,
Bye, Kylie.